Good afternoon. Today is the 13th of August and it's time for your monthly dose of entertainment, somewhere between a vlog and a rant. It's time for the top 10 best-selling cars of July 2019. Yes, it's time to have some fun. So for those of you who've watched my channel for some time will know every month we take a look at some of the best selling cars for the last month according to the SMMT figures, and also about the general trends in the market, such as diesel, petrol, hybrid, fully electric, and what manufacturers are doing well and which ones are not. So we'll start off with the top 10 best-selling cars ranked in order. First place is the Ford Fiesta, 5,646 cars. Second is the Golf. That's interesting, considering how old the Golf is. I'm really surprised about that, actually. Then is the Qashqai, again, a slightly older kind of model, but people just love those crossovers. Fourth is the Focus, 3,863. The A-Class, that's a very nice car, actually, the new Mercedes A-Class, 3,702. The Corsa. Now, this has been a very, very strong selling car for a very long time. But because the new model is now announced, the old one, which kind of dates back to 2006 in places, that has slipped down the order a bit, and that's only on 3,079. Then we've got the Ford Kuga. The Ford Kuga's are quite an old model as well, but relatively speaking, I mean, like the Corsa, but but the new one's coming out, but it's still selling very strongly. It's 2,921. Then there's a Volkswagen Tiguan, 2624. The Polo, 2568, and then the Kia Sportage, which is best-selling Korean car on the UK market. The overall trends for July 2019, they kind of roughly mirror the general trends for the rest of the year, really. July is not a particularly strong selling month, neither is August. September is, so we're not looking at huge figures here, but it's a good time of year to get a bargain, actually. I bought my Toledo, which I'm in at the moment, in July 2017, and the deal was stonking. So maybe it is time to look at buying a new car if you're savvy, or somewhere else on a holiday. Obviously, I can help you with that, can't I? Anyway, diesel's down 22%. That's no surprise. Petrol's up by a slight amount, 2.6%. The figures that I'm looking at are compared with last year, so they're July 2018 compared with July 2019. Battery cars, which is cars with just electric propulsion, they're up by 158%. That's not really a surprise, but you've got to bear this in mind. The electric cars, ones that are fully electric, they only make up 0.5% of new car sales. So the increase is quite substantial, but it's still a very tiny amount, despite what electric vehicle owners say. And, electric vehicles in some ways are absolutely wonderful. They're still a really small proportion of the market. So whether they're good or bad, and they are increasingly very good, we've still got some way to go before they take over, although eventually they will because of legislation. Anyway, hybrid, sort of halfway there, that's up by 34%. That's probably due to the new Toyota Corolla, to be honest, which was released quite recently. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. Now, they are used to a government subsidy of £3,500. That's now been removed, and so they have fallen by 49.6%. Not a surprise, really, there. Mild hybrid diesel is up by 337%. An insane kind of figure, but they didn't really sell many of those last year, possibly. I mean, the new Kia Sportage, for example, is an example of a car with a mild hybrid diesel powertrain. I can't think of too many others at the top of my head at the moment. Of course, yes, Hyundai Tucson, which is the same car as the Sportage underneath. Then mild hybrid petrol's up by 1.3%. The market overall is down by 4.09%. So once we get now into which manufacturers are doing well and which ones are not doing so well, if you see anything above a 4% decrease, then that particular brand of car is doing very, very well indeed. This is normally the time in the video where I start talking about Fiat Chrysler automobiles and how well they're not doing, because so many of their brands are in the sort of first half of the alphabet. But it's not good news for the first brand in their portfolio, but you know, it's actually pretty good for some others. So let's start with Abarth. They've only got one model, 595, 695, and variations on that. They're all based on the, gosh, over a decade old Fiat 500. The 124 and variants have either been discontinued, so they're down 28%. Alfa Romeo, now they've actually increased quite significantly. They're up to just a 10% decrease, so they're going to be doing something right. I'm waiting though for some new models to come out. Having driven a couple of Alphas recently, there's something about them which is great, but we don't need to love them quite as much as we sort of say we do. We want to drive them, we don't want to own them, which is a bit of a shame. Alpine, they're doing really well. They're up by 164% over last year, but they only sold 11 cars last year, so you know, perhaps that's not so much of an increase. Audi, they're down by 23%. Possibly that might increase with a new e-tron. Bentley, they're down by 37.4%. That's possibly due to the fact that we're still very uncertain what's going to happen with the situation to do with Brexit. And if you were going to order your luxury car, maybe you're a little bit less keen to do that until you know what's going on with it. So, yeah. BMW, they're down by 7.82%, probably to do same thing as Bentley possibly, although they do have some very nice cars. The new 3 Series, the G23 series is really good. Planet Auto recently reviewed one of those, and I recommend that video very much. Citroen, they're actually up by 29%. Now, all the things I've said about Peugeot, Citroen recently, and DS, every single one of their brands, apart from Vauxhall, has increased in the last month by a huge amount. So just well done to them. I think the designs of their cars are really nice. I don't think necessarily they have the most longevity in the second-hand market, but if you're just going for a new car and you're covered by a 3-year warranty, then, you know, it might be worth taking a look. So Citroen up by 29%. Dacia, they're up by 5.8%. Again, they seem to still be focusing on value brands doing well. DS by 24%. That's a massive increase from previously. Fiat, now they are a bit true to form. They're down by 35%. So I really hope they can do a bit better. Their sister brand Jeep is much better than they are. So perhaps it's time for them to rise too. And Ford, they're up by 6.37%. They've normally actually been down. So obviously that Fiesta's still selling really well for them. We've also got Honda. They're down by 18.3%. I don't really know what to say about them. They've got a good portfolio of models. I just don't think anybody's buying them, which is a shame. Hyundai, they're down by 5% for some reason. Infiniti, Infiniti of a manufacturer I've possibly talked about the most in terms of their decline. They will be withdrawing from the country by the end of the year, but their sales for last month were up by 36%. I presume the dealers are being incentivised to get rid of excess stock. Oh well. Jaguar, now another success story, up by 12.6%. Land Rover up by 8%. Fantastic. Company which looks like it's in sort of trouble at some point, media is saying, but the sales seem to be doing really well. So that's good on them, really. Jeep, they're up by 50.84%. 50.84% in the last sort of, you know, July 2018 compared to July 2019. That's really good. Planet Auto, again, they recently reviewed the Jeep Renegade Trailhawk. That's a good video to watch as well if you want to see what one of their new models is like. They really liked it. It's a very unique car. It's something quite like it on the market. So, yeah, it's worth taking a look at that. Kia, they're minus 3.4%, but again, that's above the 4% decrease, so it's not too bad. Lexus, they're up by 42.6%. A lot of hybrids, possibly to do with that. Maserati are down by 34%. They probably need a few new models in their portfolio. Mazda have released a new model, the new 3. That's a beautiful car, and they're up by 10%. for last month. Mercedes-Benz up by 6%. They seem to be bringing out new models all the time, Mercedes-Benz. Possibly that's to do with the A-Class doing very well. Mini, they're minus 11%. I don't know why the Mini's not doing very well in the last month. Hard to say, really. Nissan, they're down by 2%. The Qashqai's doing well, though. Peugeot up by 2%. That's really good. Porsche up by 2.5%. Renault are down by 31.6%. That might be to do with the fact that they're bringing a new Clio out. When that that's out, they'll be back to sort of speed. Seat and Skoda are similar decline. Minus 5.2% for Seat and minus 4.4% for Skoda. This new Scala's now out, which is replacing the Rapid. So once that's up to speed, the car was only released in the middle of last month. So yeah, hopefully that'll be good. I did a walk around on one of those recently, and Planet Auto did a full review. So it's a car worth looking at, actually. Smart, they've recently discontinued the 4.4, like Renault Twingo, which is the same car essentially. They're down by 27.48%. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Smart completely disappears from the UK market quite soon. They're not really selling very many of them at all. Ssangyong, now they're down by 38%. Again, if you watch some of my previous videos, that's not really a surprise. They only sold 82 cars last month. They are bringing out a new Carano later this year, and I think I know some people who are going to the launch, so that should be good. Right, my camera's so signs of overheating, so I better wrap this up quickly. Subaru down by 8%. It's not as much as usual, but still a little bit on the high side. Suzuki down by 23%. I'm not really sure why. Their new Jimny's amazing, but possibly got supply issues with that. Toyota up by 23%. That's probably to do with the new Corolla, which is mainly hybrid in the whole range. Vauxhall down by 12%. That's probably to do with the Corsa being really old now. Volkswagen down by 9.4%. I don't really know why that is. They've got the Golf is like their sort of second best-selling car in Britain, so who knows. And then Volvo are minus 2.1%, so that's not too bad. So if you found that video to be informative, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment below and like this video. My website is www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk. And my Facebook page is facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Thank you ever so much indeed for watching.